Call Chris Bishop.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. A pleasure to rise to take a call on the sale and supply of alcohol extending licensing hours during the Rugby World Cup bill, and I want to pay tribute at the start of my speech, Sir, to my friend and colleague David Seymour for his foresight and wisdom in introducing this sensible and prudent measure. And I also want to pay tribute to the Greens as well, who I think over the last 24 to 36 hours have played quite a constructive role in working with David Seymour and members of the government and allowing this bill to be introduced and allowing it to be read a first time and sent to a select committee. And the Greens, I think, have legitimate concerns about the operation of some of the bill, which will hopefully become an act, and they have legitimate concerns, I think, about some of the scope of what we're trying to do here. And some of those issues are going to be thrashed out at Select Committee, and it may well be that the bill that emerges from Select Committee will be in quite a different shape to what it is now. And that's perfectly appropriate. That is the parliamentary process at play. That's why we have the Select Committee system. But I think the Green Party has played quite a constructive role in facilitating this bill to take place. So the aim of this bill is quite a simple one, and I regard it as a noble one. It's to make it easier for New Zealanders to watch the Rugby World Cup. And as the Minister rightly pointed out, and as I think the member in charge of the bill pointed out as well, we do have this unique situation where a lot of the games in the Rugby World Cup are outside the standard licensing hours. And some of the evidence that we as government members have received, and I'm sure the member in charge of the bill has received as well, is that the process of applying for a special licence to open is quite a cumbersome process, and that the process may be deterring some people from opening their licensed premises at these times. And so the aim of the bill is to make it easier for New Zealanders to watch the Rugby World Cup, because, Sir, the act of watching a sporting match with friends and family, even complete strangers, at a licensed premise is something of a New Zealand tradition, and it's not so much sometimes even about the actual game. It's certainly not, in my experience, Sir, about the drinking. And there have, I think, over the last 24, 36 hours, been some quite odd claims made about how this is facilitating public boozing and drunkenness and things like that. Some of these events that you go to that we're talking about with this bill, it's not even really so much about the game, and it's not really about the drinking at all. But it's about the collective endeavour of people coming together as a unit and as a body to express pride and show passion and enjoy the game of rugby, Sir. And Andrew Little there, he may well be singing along to the Australian anthem in his licensed premise over a couple of beers at 5 a.m. in the morning. Slightly strange comment from him this week. My personal view, Sir, is that I hope that at some point in the future we have a new New Zealand flag, so that when we all go down to the pub to watch the All Blacks play, we can raise a new New Zealand flag and not one that is not representative, in my view, of New Zealand today. But that's slightly off to the main point of this bill, Sir. So that's what the bill is about, and I think it's a simple objective, and it's one that's a noble one, and it deserves to be sent to Select Committee. As I think other members have noted, there's some issues around the margins of the bill that will rightly be considered at the Select Committee process. One issue that's been mentioned already in the House is whether or not it should apply just for the All Black games, or whether or not it should also apply to, say, South Africa or Australian games. And I think there are legitimate arguments on both sides. Manu Samoa, says my friend and colleague Trevor Mallard over that side. And there are legitimate arguments about that, and I think the Select Committee process is the right way to thrash them out. So, Sir, I'm conscious that I've used up most of my time, and I'm also very conscious that I've got a members' bill later on tonight that I'm very keen to get to. So with those quick remarks, Sir, I want to endorse this bill to the House and look forward to examining it in further detail on the Justice and Electoral Committee.